Past perfect. I had done. You see? Okay, pay attention. Look at this situation. Sarah and Paul, they went to the same party last week. So this is in the past. Okay? Last week is in the past. They went. See? Past. They went to the same party, but they didn't see each other. Also past. You see, they didn't see each other. Let's see why. Paul left the party at 10:30 p.m. You see, he's leaving you here. 10:30 p.m. He was at the party, but he left. Okay, you use past simple to say this. He left. He left, okay? And Sarah, she arrived at 11 o'clock. So she arrived after he had left. Okay? So when Sarah arrived at the party, Paul was not there, right? He was not there. So he had gone home. He had left. He had left. He had gone home. You see, you use past perfect here to say you're talking about something that happened before Sarah arrived. So this is in the past. So this is something that happened before the past. Right? Okay. So had gone is the past perfect. This is the construction. You have the pronoun. Had, this is the past. You see had. It's easy to remember the name, past perfect, because you have here, this is in the past, right? Had. You see the helping verb is in the past. So it's past. And you have the past participle here. You have the past participle, so it becomes past perfect. Okay? And you can contract it like this. I'd, he'd, I'd. You see, I'd and he'd. Yes. I'd gone. I'd gone. Perfect. Perfect. I don't know. Huh? It's easier to remember, right? Let me see if I can get an explanation why they use perfect here. This is the normal meaning of the word, but I don't think this is the meaning here. Lacking nothing, no, being without defect, no, complete, pure, excellent, no, capable of sexual reproduction, no. Grammar. Of, relating to, or constituting a verb form, expressing action completed prior to a fixed point. You see, this is what perfect means. It's a verb or related to that verb that expresses an action, something that happened, an action that was done before something. That's perfect. You see, it has nothing to do with the common meaning of perfect. It's like complete, faultless, right? So it has this meaning, you see. It's related to an action completed before a fixed point in time. So when you have present perfect, okay, here this lesson actually shows us here. When you have present perfect, you see, present perfect, have seen. It's something that happened before now. You see, before now. This is why they call it perfect. Okay? And past perfect, something that happened before the past. You see? Okay? So then By looking at the helping verb, you can easily see if it's present or past perfect. You see, have is in the present form, so this is present perfect. Had is in the past form, so then you have past perfect. This is easy way to remember, you see. Okay. Look at these examples. The past perfect had, but plus a past participle. Okay, this is the simple one. Later you have to learn the past perfect continuous. But now this is the simple one first. Sometimes we talk about something that happened in the past. Okay, in this example is Sarah arrived at the party. You see, this is in the past. Past simple. Now we want to talk about something that happened before this. Before Sarah arrived. Okay, so if we're talking about the past, okay, this is the starting point of the story. This is what is happening, the main action. Sarah arrived at the party. If we want to talk about things that happened before this time, then you need to use the past perfect. So when Sarah arrived at the party, Paul had gone. You see, had gone home. Had gone home. You can also, you often see already. You often see this already. Do you understand? Okay, so it happens before she arrived. Some more examples. When we got home last night, look, this is past. When we got home. Home last night, this is past. We found, also past, that somebody had broken into the flat. The flat is the apartment, remember? The house, not really a house, it's the apartment, no? In a building, one apartment is a flat. So when they got home, this is what is happening in the past, they found out that somebody had broken. Something happened before that. Somebody had broken into the flat. It's an action that happened before they got home, you see? Okay. Karen didn't come to the cinema with us. Past, simple past. She had already seen the movie. See, this happened before. She didn't go because she had already seen before the movie. Do you understand? Okay. At first, I thought, past, I had done the right thing. So I thought, the act of thinking happens in the past, but I think I had done. So something that happened before that. Before I thought. Yeah. So at first, I thought I had done the right thing, but I soon realized I had made a big mistake. Do you understand? The people sitting next to me on the plane were nervous. Past simple. In the plane, they were nervous. Okay? Past simple. They hadn't flown before. They had not flown before. This means before they were nervous, before the situation is happening, in the past, they had never flown. You see, they had never flown. Or they hadn't flown before. Okay? Not difficult, no? It's something that happened before the past. Okay? Now, comparing present perfect and past perfect. Here you have the point in time, which is now, the present. Something happened before now, you see? Then you have a present perfect. For example, who is that woman? I have seen her before. I have seen her before. Before when? Before now. Before now, you see? But I cannot remember where. Something, I have seen her. This in the past, but before now. I have seen her before. Okay? But I wasn't sure who she was. I was not. You see, this is past. I was not sure. This is this moment in time, you see. I wasn't sure who she was. Then now something happened before. I had seen her before, but I couldn't remember where. I had seen her before, but I could not remember where. You see, it's before the past. This is before the present. Okay? Here, we are not hungry. We aren't hungry. We have just had lunch. We have had, you see, present perfect. Because it's something that happens before the present. We have just had lunch. We are not hungry. This is present simple, you see. Present simple, something that happened before the present simple, we use present perfect, you see. Now this one, we weren't hungry. This is in the past. In the past, we were not hungry. And something happened before. We had just had lunch. So this becomes had. Had. Two heads. Okay? Had. Yeah, we had lunch. Yes. We had just had lunch. Yes, okay? So you see the difference here is the same situation, but this happened before the present, and this happened before this past action. Last one, the house is dirty. This is present. They haven't cleaned it for weeks. You see, something that happened before the present. They have not cleaned it. So present perfect. They haven't cleaned it for weeks. Okay? For weeks means many weeks they didn't clean. Right? Okay, now the similar situation but in the past. The house was dirty. This is in the past. Maybe now the house is clean. But in the past the house was dirty. They hadn't cleaned it for weeks. This happened before this past action. You see? Okay? Now let's compare the past simple with the past perfect. This was present perfect and present simple. Now past simple and past perfect. Here. Now maybe it will address that question. Maybe. Here. Was Tom there when you arrived? This is past simple, you see? Was he there when you arrived? Yes, but he left soon afterwards. So this means in the past, this person arrived and soon afterwards he left. After she arrived. You see?
Few minutes.
Yeah, like maybe a few minutes or... Okay? But let's see the past perfect. Was Tom there when you arrived? The question is the same. No. When I arrived, he had already left. Before she arrived. Here, he left before this person arrived. And here, he left after this person arrived. Do you see the difference?
The same.
Hmm?
The same situation, but different sentence.
It's a different situation. You see, let me use this over here, okay? Here. Was Tom there when you arrived? So let's say when you arrived is this situation, okay? In the past, you arrived. Okay? Now, you arrived here at this point in time. Now, if I say yes, but he left soon afterwards, this means he left after I arrived. You see? I arrived in the past, and soon after that, he left. Okay? It happens after this action. But in this case, was Tom there when you arrived? No, he had already left. So this means I arrived in this point in time. He had already left. This means before. Okay? Kate wasn't at home when I phoned. She was not. Past simple, when I phoned in the past. So in the past here, I phoned her, I called her. Okay? She was not at home. Okay? She was at her mother's house. This is happening at the same time when I phoned her. She was at her mother's house at the same time. Now, Kate had just got home when I phoned. Look at this. When I phoned is the past. Kate had just got home. So she had just got home a little bit before that. Before I called. Before I phoned. So it happened here before, you see? She had been at her mother's house. She had been in the past. She had been in her mother's house. And then she had just got home. And then I called. You see? You can clearly understand the sequence of events. She had been at her mother's house. Okay? This is past simple. Past perfect simple. Past perfect simple. Okay?